Welcome in, everybody. Happy MLK Day, and welcome to your latest installment of Clayton State basketball. The Lakers playing host to the Lander University Bearcats. Ladies go first. 25th ranked Bearcats coming in and posing a gigantic dilemma for the women of Clayton State, who have lost 4 straight to Lander, including their Peach Belt Conference quarterfinals meeting last March, in which the Bearcats easily romped 97-60, and then again last month in Greenwood with a 93-59 beatdown of the Lakers. In that one, the Lakers were down 30-8 after the first quarter, and you could pretty much ended it there. It was over. Clayton State coming into this contest 7-7 on the season, 4-4 in the conference after they knocked off USC Aiken 60-42 on Saturday afternoon right here at the Lock. They jumped out 10-zip, led from start to finish, completing a sweep of the Pacers, also ending a 2-game slide. Asia Grimsley led the way with a career-high 22-point performance in that one, Bill. The Lakers had played well at home before they went on the road and lost 2 games, so we're looking for a continuation of those home vibes here.
I think consistency, you're right, that's
I'm trying to look for a silver lining against this team.
Yeah, well, and you know what? This is, look, it's a Lander team that is a great team, but they're coming off a loss. And the last time these two met up over in South Carolina, you had the entire starting lineup go into double figures. That is not going to happen again. I'm just going to go on a limb on that one. That was a heck of a match.
We're going to mark that down.
Yeah.
Entire starting lineup doesn't get into double figures.
If they do, tip your hat again. And we'll get on the Lander bandwagon. But, man, they had a heck of an impressive game against Clayton State the last time out. These are 2 really good defensive teams. In fact, I mean, you're looking at some of the best defenses in the entire Peach Belt Conference. They're going to press. They're going to go after each other. Clayton State actually leads the league in steals per game with 8.2. Turnovers forced per game, 25.6. Lander's second in both of those categories, 7.1 steals and 24.2 turnovers a game. So, look, whoever can keep the ball, not turn it over, and then start hitting some shots, that's who's going to win this game. And we're going to see some smothering defense. I think also, and I hate to do this because it always puts the officials in the spot. I don't like talking about that much, but it depends on how this is officiated too. If they call it close, that's going to change the complexion of this game. If they let these 2 teams play, I think that's going to be a lot more. That'll be a lot fairer to both sides because they're going to want to play tight, they're going to want to play press, and they're going to want to play physical.
Yeah, the last game that they played back on December 19th, the Lakers turned it over 26 times. They had 3 players with 5 turnovers, another one with 4. Now, look, Lander had 20 turnovers in that one, so both teams' defenses, were doing what it is that they do. But the way you got to look at it right now, you have to have the feeling in some way that, or at least Lander feels like, even though they probably wouldn't admit it, but like they own Clayton State at this point. Now they are, let's look for silver linings, or maybe it's not, I don't know. They come into this game, Lander, off of a rare loss. I mean, they're 12-3 overall, 7-2 in the Peach Belt, but they lost to Georgia College 63-55. And again, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing for the Lakers because I think they're going to be minding their P's and Q's. Kevin Peterson's going to have his team ready for this one off of that loss. They sport 5 players, Bill, who score in double figures. May not be all the starters, but they've got 5 players who score in double figures in this one, led by Brashae Johnson, the senior all-conference center, who leads the team in scoring at 16.5 points per game, also in rebounds at 7.5. Now, she was held to a season-low 4 points in that loss to Georgia College, so I'd imagine, Bill, that she's going to try and look to bounce back in a big way here in the game there last month. Brashae Johnson had 17 points, but as you said, all 5 of their starters in double figures. Wasn't just Brashae Johnson you got to look for.
No, if you shut her down, that's a start. It's the rest of the team, though. And Brashae Johnson, we will talk about her throughout this game. She is really good. You go through the stats. She steps out in every category, but also Jessica Harris, too. They're one of their point guards. She is going to be, I think, really one of the keys in this game because of the press, like we talked about. How can she bring it up the court, and how can she survive that pressure? So those are things I want to see. But You're right. Brashay Johnson, who, I mean, they only have 55 points the last time out, did Lander. You look at, I mean, they were mostly in the 90s.
I'm sure Kalina had them watching that game film several times to see what it was that Georgia College did. The Lakers lead the all-time series 20-13. As we say hello to the game officials, and we'll give you those names in just a second. Lakers, as I said, lead the all-time series 20-13. However, as I mentioned earlier, the Bearcats have taken the last 4 straight, and they haven't been close. That's the setting. We'll play it out on the floor here at the Lock in just a few minutes. Starting lineups, opening tip right around the corner when we return.
And now, the starting lineups. First for the Bearcats of Lander. Number 12, Crystal Williams. Number 15, Destiny Langford. Number 20, Jessica Harris. Number 23, Chelsea Mitchell. And number 35, Brashay Johnson. Their head coach is Kevin Pedersen, assisted by Nicole Shoemake Robertson. And now, the starting lineup for your Clayton Lakers. First at guard, 5'5" senior from Marietta, Georgia, number 3, Asia Brinsley. At guard, 5'8" junior from Chicago, Illinois, number 5, Deanna Saunders. At guard, a 5'3" freshman from Atlanta, Georgia, number 10, Tatiana Foster. At forward, a 5'10" senior from St. Louis, Missouri, number 11, A.B. Ratley. And at forward, a 6-foot junior from Augusta, Georgia, number 32, Alicia Merriweather. There's a coach by Clayton Holden, assisted by Brittany Hall.
Theo Celeste with your starting lineups for the Lander Bearcats, 12-3 on the season, 7-2 in the PBC. They'll go with Crystal Williams, number 12. 15 is Destiny Langford. 20, Jessica Harris. Number 23 is Chelsea Mitchell. And number 35, their senior center, all-conference, and the reigning Peach Belt Conference Player of the Year, Brashay Johnson. For the Lakers, Asia Grimsley, Kieta Saunders, Tatiana Foster, Breland Rackley, and Alicia Merriweather will go for Clayton State. Game officials for this one, Steve Edwards, Chad Tucker, and Tommy Paris. Lander in their royal blue road uniforms with the gold trim. Lakers in the home whites. And it will be Alicia Merriweather, the jump with Brashay Johnson, and we are underway here at the lock. The ball knocked out of bounds by Crystal Williams, so it will go to the Lakers to start it out. So Saunders will throw in to the half court. Now all of a sudden we've got a stoppage here as Steve Edwards and Chad Tucker are having a little bit of discussion across the court from each other.
Don't know what the discussion is.
I mean, it was deflected out of bounds. That was clear. All right, so we're ready to go. Oh, and a nice setup pass down low off the inbound for Asia Grimsley.
Oh, that was a good start.
Was that something right there off the inbounds from Kieta Saunders? So the Lakers jump out 2-zip. This is Langford with it. Harris now gives to Williams, who stops and shoots. And fall forward down low, taken on the offensive glass by Chelsea Mitchell. She missed, and the Lakers came away with it. Tatiana Foster, the freshman from Marietta, with it. Top of the three-point circle now to A.B. Rackley. Puts it on the floor, drives, stops, and shoots. Partially deflected, and the rebound going to Lander. And pushing it here, Crystal Williams, and lays it off for Destiny Webster. And it's going to be an offensive foul on Lander, so don't count the basket and give the foul to Crystal Williams, the junior guard from Riverdale, Georgia.
Did you see Asia Grimsley's face after that, though?
No, I did not.
That was one where I think Asia Grimsley said, well, thank you.
And there's the press right there that we talked about, the steal off the inbounds. They couldn't finish, but they still get the ball back. So good defense there by the Bearcats.
I think Asia Grimsley on that last foul thought she might have fouled.
Oh, there's the entry pass, nicely done from Harris to Johnson, and she banks it home. So we're tied at deuces, minute and a half into this first quarter. Rackley driving, almost lost it, but Foster gets it. Now throws it down low to Merriweather, puts it up, and I don't know if they're calling an offensive or if she stepped on the baseline.
Yeah, foot on the line. That was a high pass. I was shocked that she came down with it. Just a little bit too much oomph on it, and it let her out of bounds.
So Clayton State with another turnover. This is Williams, who throws right side wing. Langford, cross court, now down left side jumper is money, but they call a travel on Mitchell, the junior from Laurel, Maryland. So another turnover the other way, and the Lakers back with the basketball. Full court pressure from Lander. Lakers break it. Grimsley drives, flips it up, and an offensive foul on Asia. So another turnover, and we come back the other way, Bill.
This is an interesting start. We thought it would be a tight defensive game, and it has, I mean, it's been defensively okay. It's been kind of sloppy, both teams.
Yes.
Turning it over quickly.
Grimsley with a foul for the Lakers, and Williams for the Bearcats in the early going here. The opening 2 minutes from the lock. Mitch Evans, Bill Schindler. The Lakers deflect the basketball out of bounds. It will stay with the Bearcats.
21 on the shot clock.
And now Harris being redirected to inbound by Tony Paris. Williams on the dribble. Now she gets it back. Foster on her. They work it around. Now it's Harris. 8 to shoot. Get it down low. Mitchell, left-hander, is good. Chelsea Mitchell with the bucket, and it's 4-2 Lander. Taquana Bland for three. Off the mark, fought for on the glass and controlled by Lander, and then goes out of bounds, and that will be Lakers basketball as Destiny Langford was unable to control it.
Taquana Bland actually was the leading scorer the last time they faced each other over in Greenwood, and she had 11 points. The Lakers only had 3 in double figures. Bland with 11, and then 2 players with 10. That was Foster and Merriweather.
And they didn't shoot it bad in that game, 44%,
yeah.
As the Lakers turn it over again now. But the problem is that Lander shot over 61%.
Yeah, it wasn't a bad game. You're right for Clayton State, all in all, especially shooting.
Well, bad start. Bad start.
It was a bad start. They put themselves in a hole.
And the Lakers steal it. And Rackley gets it to Foster, who lays it up, misses. Merriweather, the offensive rebound. She can't finish, but Bland can. So Taquana Ban on the board. And the Lakers knotted up at 4s. 3 minutes in. Driving to the hoop. Missing on the wild layup attempt was Harris. Langford got it. 3-pointer from Williams, no. Offensive rebound by Mitchell. And Lander pushing. They are seemingly always at a relentless pace, both offensively and defensively. They work the weave here. Langford on the floor, drives to the basket, and banks it in.
You're right on the pace. You can imagine what a Lander practice must be like.
So it's 6-4. Bearcats on top. Foster stops and then loses it. I think she couldn't decide whether to shoot it or pass it, and she turned it over. That's got to be about 5 turnovers for the Lakers. Driving it to the hole, put it up as Williams, and she is fouled.
Again, we talked about it in the open, is how good these two teams are. Really the first and second in the conference in defenses, leading in steals, Clayton State, and turnovers forced per game. Lander's second, both those categories.
Williams to the line, 86% free throw shooter, averaging just over 11 points per game, makes the first.
Well, and this whole team, I mean, the Bearcats are the best in the Peach Belt. They've shot
excellent
75.6% as a team.
So Williams expectedly goes 2 for 2. Lakers break the pressure. Here's Bland, drives right to the basket, flips it up, and there's another offensive foul on the Lakers. So if there's one thing that's been consistent about what Clayton State has been doing thus far, it's been turning the basketball over. And that's a foul. I think it's 3 offensive fouls now on the Lakers, on Bland, Foster, and Grimsley.
Yeah, and that's something that they're going to have to cut back on, obviously, but they can't let this lead spiral.
Wide open look down low, can't finish was Harris, but the great pass from Langford, and the Lakers come away with it. Saunders on the left wing. Merriweather on the baseline, stopped her dribble, so goes cross court, and that pass is stolen. Another turnover. Here comes Langford, 2-on-1, and then there's Johnson, who joins the party. She misses, gets her own rebound, but was on the baseline.
The Lakers, though, we talked about that slow start they had over at Lander, and even though they had a pretty good game shooting, they just put themselves in a big hole. 4 points, 5.5 minutes left here in the first quarter. It's one of those that it's obviously not really that far out of reach, but look, is the Lakers get back in control, get a bucket or two. They're playing better, obviously, than they did at Lander.
And then there's another turnover as they throw it away, and then a foul on Valencia Johnson. I mean, that's the story right there, Bill.
Yep.
Yeah, of course, we're only at 8-4, but every time you get the basketball on offense and you turn it over, or you're trying to inbound and turn it over and then commit fouls, it's not going to take long for it to be the same story as it was back on December 19th.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Is 4 points doesn't sound like much, but all of a sudden you start doing those things and it snowballs a bit.
All right, so the free throw there is missed on the first attempt by Destiny Langford. She's a 67%er from the line, averages 11.5 points per game, and makes the second. So Langford with 3, the sophomore guard from Lexington, South Carolina. Lakers facing pressure in their backcourt, and turn it over again as Delana Clarity comes in. It was a high pass. She was able to corral it, but then lost control of the basketball, and it went out of bounds. So right now the Lakers, not anything withstanding what Lander's doing, but the Lakers are shooting themselves in the foot right now. They're their own worst enemy early in the going. 3-pointer is good from Langford. So Destiny Langford off to a quick start with 6, and the Lakers are already down 8, 12-4. just halfway through this first quarter. And there's going to be a travel there on Brittany Hardman. This is reaching ridiculous proportions here, Bill.
Well, and we're going to at least have this timeout on the floor where they can talk things over. Kalina Coleman.
Well, you want to know what? Kalina Coleman was kind of like hiding on the other side of the bench right now. She has, I think, seen enough already.
Well, we talked about with the 8-4 score, the 4 points, it's not a big lead. But when things start going bad like they did there, we saw the free throw. At least it was 1 of 2. And then, obviously, some more points to make it 12-4. But, this is one where she's well aware. Kalina knows this. It's got to be off to a good start against Lander because, you break down that last game against the Bearcats in South Carolina. Like you said, Mitch, it wasn't a bad game. They played pretty well all in all when you look at overall shooting percentage. Lander just had an exceptional game where we talked about their entire starting lineup was in double figures. But when you look at that start, and the coaching staff will tell you, they got off to a bad start. They dug themselves a hole. That's not what they wanted to have happen here. And that's where, right now, Clayton State has to use this timeout on the floor and just say, okay, look, we need to keep control of the ball. It's a good defense. Lander is going to do this. Look, if I was the coach, I'd say pretend like it's practice because Clayton State's used to this. This is the style that they play. They play a press. So just act like it's, an inter scrimmage matchup. You know how to do this. Make good decisions, make crisp passes, and keep possession.
The number is 9, Bill. 9 turnovers in the opening 5 minutes. And there's a wide open Lander player there, Ariana Sanders, junior guard from Pearland, Texas, with a basket. And it's a 10-point lead for the Bearcats, 14-4. And the Lakers go backcourt there with another turnover. Speechless at this point. Kalina Coleman sending in 4 new players right now. Alicia Merriweather, Tatiana Foster, Asia Grimsley, Taquana Bland all in. They'll be out there with A.B. Rackley. And I must say, I don't think the pressure that we have seen from Lander has been that ferocious that it would already warrant 10 turnovers in the first quarter.
I'd say it's about 50-50. I mean, look, we give Lander credit. They have played a good defense, but, a few of those, like that backcourt, that is just self-inflicted.
And there's a three-pointer from Asia Grimsley, who leads the team in attempts from downtown and also made. She's now 17 of 60, 28%, and the Lakers pull it within 14-7. So that was a big hoop to at least quell what was going on here. Again, you got to continue to take care of the basketball.
But they need a momentum shifter. That could be something big. That three-pointer, just seeing it go in.
And there's Brashay Johnson on the low block. Gets set up very nicely on the entry pass. And now Johnson, who's 4th in scoring this season in the PBC with 16.5 on the season. She's got 4. The bucket there by Grimsley will not count.
Foul that happened on the floor.
It was on the floor, and it was on Saunders.
Probably about the free throw line when they got her.
Ariana Sanders for Lander. Lakers with 14 fouls. Lander has 2 here in this opening quarter. And then a pass intended down low for Grimsley, stolen by Lander. And putting it up and banking it in easily was Jessica Harris. Her first 2, and it's 18-7. So a little bit of the good work that the Lakers did. They throw it away again as Rackley couldn't control the pass from Foster. Driving to the basket, missing there was Harris. Fight for the rebound, and it was Rackley and Mitchell, and it will stay with Lander. Possession arrow in their favor. So the Lakers already with 12 turnovers. We're not even 7 minutes into this first quarter. I mean, technically, if you wanted to, get close, you could almost say that the Lakers are averaging 2 turnovers per minute. Now, if we had a possession chart to see how many possessions they've had to turnovers, you'd really get the idea. That's a travel on the crossover by Langford.
Be interesting to see how the Lakers deal with this. I think, and we're going to see this a little bit here, they've got 4 in the backcourt. I think this is the way to do it. Leave 4 players back, make sure you break the press, get it up cleanly.
So Bland has it, dribbles through traffic, Grimsley, and a travel as she was setting up to take the three-pointer. So, I mean, look, this becomes a feeding frenzy. It starts getting in your head. I got to be careful. I can't, so then rather than be aggressive, you're becoming tentative, and that just feeds into the problems. Langford looking down low for Johnson. She faces Merriweather, gets into the paint, spins, and the hook shot won't go. Alicia the board. Hands to Foster. Get it across center court. Bland was open. Grimsley in the corner lets loose from downtown. And the rebound will go to Lander's Chelsea Mitchell. Double team in the corner. And Kevin Peterson in his 13th season at Lander calls the timeout. The winningest coach in Cats history, 249 in the win column, 134 in the loss column. And Kevin Peterson has led the Lander Bearcats to 8 NCAA tournaments in the last 10 years. That's not too shabby.
Yeah, very impressive. I mean, they're a well-coached team. This is a good team, obviously 25th in the country, and they're coming off that loss. And
they started 15th.
Yeah.
And again, you lose 3 games, usually your ranking is going to go down. And but they returned, I believe, 7 of their 8 top scorers coming in from last year. This was the preseason favorite in the Peach Belt Conference coaches poll. And right now they are in 3rd place in the conference standings. North Georgia and Flagler are 7-1. They're playing each other as we speak. He missed on the layup attempt. It was contested by Merriweather, and she got the rebound and gets it ahead to Rackley. Now to Grimsley on the baseline. The floater, no good, and it came over the top. I thought maybe there would be a whistle, but there wasn't. So the Lakers still down. The 2 defenders retreated just a little bit to the baseline and left her open for the close shot. So Taquana with And it was Pettit who got whistled on the foul. So another turnover for Lander. So all of a sudden they're having their moments, if you will, here. Not taking care of the basketball. Lakers double team there, Tatiana Foster, and calls a timeout. The Lakers will have 3 seconds to get it across.
Yeah, got caught there. Just Tatiana double teamed and then had a little bit of a hiccup on the dribble. Nobody came back to help her. I think the Lakers, they have started to settle down a bit. It was, as Mitch was saying, I mean, you're right. It was a turnover fest early, and I think it's 50-50. Some of that was Lander. Some of that was just unforced errors and dumb mistakes. But they've started to lock down, and I think the defense has started to help them. The defense has started to put on the brakes a little bit. They're playing well inside, and if they continue to do that, I mean, they're going to have at least some success against Lander here. But the question again is getting that slow start, and how's that going to play deeper into the game?
Here comes Rackley flashing through the paint, lays it home off the glass. Got to get her going. AB with her first bucket. Lakers down 8, 19-11. 15 seconds remaining in the first quarter as Lander will play for the last shot. Crystal Williams with it. Gives to Langford. And then the pass down low intended for Harris, picked off by the Lakers. 3 seconds, and then the foul at the top of the three-point circle there. And that will go on Jessica Harris. So the sophomore guard from Sumter, South Carolina, picks up her first personal. And the Lakers will throw in on the sideline. It's Foster. And then throws it away as Asia Grimsley, I don't know if she got tripped or just slipped on the floor, but she went down, no foul. So the ball goes over to Lander for the last shot attempt.
I think she tripped herself. I think she got her feet tangled together. Just happens sometimes.
That's a bad break for the Lakers.
Yeah. Little floor gremlins got her.
So now it will be Lander to inbound.
In Hawaii, we call that a Minahuni turnover.
A what? A Minahuni turnover?
Yeah, the little Minahunis get you.
Shock ono, brah. Stolen by Foster, puts it up, and that'll do it for the end of the first quarter. The Lakers, look, when all is said and done, let's look at silver linings. The Lakers are ahead of the game as far as where they were last month when they trailed this same Lander team by the score of 30-8. Did a little bit better offensively, a lot better defensively, and the Lakers, as we enter the second quarter, down by the score of 19-11. Clayton State Athletics on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. So stay connected to all of your favorite Lakers sports teams on social media. Also get up-to-date scores and stats. All you got to do is visit ClaytonStateSports.com. So I eagerly await the statistics to see how that turnover number, both numbers actually, because Lander joined the party a little bit late, but not to the extent. I mean, the Lakers, it seemed like the Lakers had about 6 or 7 consecutive possessions where they turned it over.
Yeah, and we expected this to be a high turnover game just because of the defenses we're seeing. I mean, this is 1 and 2 in steals, these two teams. But the Lakers did it a few times to themselves, and that's the difference right now. I think, Mitch, look, if this is the worst that the Lakers play, then that's okay. They're still at 19-11. They're not out of this game. They didn't start as bad as they did on the road in Greenville, and I think, look, if they can start turning it around, say we're going to be more careful with the basketball and play good defense like we've seen. They slowed Lander's offense down. I think the defense has started to lock in the last 5 minutes. Now, let's see if that continues on through this first half.
Well, the turnovers 15 for the Lakers. They average 18 per game. They had 15 in those opening 10 minutes. And for Lander, they average nearly 17 turnovers per game, and they had 8 in the first quarter. So they're certainly ahead of the curve and not in a good way. Second quarter underway. Merriweather on the block, and they call a travel on her. So the Lakers start off this second quarter right the way they played the entire first quarter by turning it over. Crystal Williams has it just inside the center stripe. Entry pass poked away by Merriweather, but Lander retains it. They're trying to get it into Johnson. And here's the shot from the right baseline, off the mark by Mitchell, but it's Johnson with the rebound, so a fresh 30 for the Bearcats. Looking to go backdoor there with Harris, but good defense by Foster. 10 to shoot for Lander. Harris with it. Outside of Langford. Stops and pops. In and out. Nice box out by Merriweather to get the board. Lakers on the run. Bland to Foster. Drives it into the paint. Flips it up, but can't finish. And no foul there, so the Lakers miss out on an opportunity where they don't turn it over. Pump fake on the three is Harris. Now outside to Langford at the foul line. Stops her dribble, needs help, and is able to get it to Williams. Harris down low to Johnson in the paint. Stolen away by Merriweather, but Whistle there from Steve Edwards. And Alicia Merriweather with her second personal on that one. So I would expect Alicia to go to the pine, and she will as Valencia Johnson reports in. Clayton State trailing Lander 19-11, just a minute and a half into this second period. Williams drives the baseline, stops and shoots an air ball, and then the ball goes out of bounds off of Chelsea Mitchell. So the Lakers to inbound. Foster to Johnson, get it across center court. Now Grimsley with it, double teamed. And almost threw it away. Johnson was able to reel it in. And a whistle on the baseline, and that will be a foul on Mitchell. So the first on Mitchell. Lakers with Grimsley to toss in underneath her own hoop. And then she tried to lead Foster and almost led her too much, but Tatiana was able to track it down. Goes crossover there. Now top to Rackley from downtown. And can't get it to go. Fast break by Lander. It's Langford. Nice move on Grimsley, but she couldn't finish. And now Asia coming up with it. Lakers don't have numbers. Nice crossover by Asia, and it falls. So Grimsley with 7. And then the other end of the court, it's Johnson. And both Lakers players, after she caught it and stopped, they went by her, and Johnson was able to lay it in. She's got 6. 21-13 Lander, and then the turnover by Bland on, what would you call it? Was that a double dribble, palming?
I guess so. Maybe a skid of the foot. Slight turnover, but it counts nonetheless. And all of a sudden, we got a track meet going on. Both teams opening it up a bit.
Yeah. Look, for all the bad that the Lakers have done, they're only down by 8. They're only down by 8. There's the steal right there. Johnson puts it up and gets fouled. And it will be Kristen Williams who will pick up her second.
Well, like I said at the end of that first quarter, if that's the worst you play, good. Because there were good things that they did. It's just you've cut out the self-inflicted wounds. And you know, if the Lakers, this is the style of basketball they want to play with Lander. They're used to it.
Valencia Johnson at the line, 43% on the season, and misses the first. See, here's opportunities, freebies at the line that you've got to be able to cash in on as Williams goes out with the 2 personals. Victoria Baldwin, 5'9" junior forward from Hoover, Alabama, now in for the Bearcats, and Valencia makes the second, so she goes 1 of 2 from the stripe, gets on the score sheet with her first point. Asia Grimsley out, and in is Clarity for the Lakers. Full court pressure from Clayton State. And they break it rather easily. Baldwin in the corner gets it down low to Johnson and got snuffed out there by about 2 Lakers. I couldn't tell which 2 it was, but nice defense by Clayton State. Here's Foster at the foul line. Harris checking her. Gets the screen. Now gives it to the screener, Rackley. Kieta Saunders on the dribble at the foul line, stops and travels.
Calling that close. Do you want to go back to that last offensive play by Lander where they broke the pressure, but then they tried to get it out to the near side wing, and A.B. Rackley, credit her, coming out on the wing, shut off that pass and slowed down the Lander offense.
Wide open in the right corner. Mitchell got it to Langford, but then when she drove to the basket, took a wild shot, was contested, and the ball went out of bounds off the Lakers. I believe Rackley got a piece of it. So has to inbound, and now we have a delay. It's Tony Paris right now, one of the outside officials. Stop play, now we're ready to go. Here's Langford, gets had the screen from Brashae Johnson if she wants it, but she doesn't. Instead, it's Mitchell with it. Harris up top. Now Langford. Mitchell clears, shoots at the left elbow and makes it. Chelsea Mitchell now with 5. 44% from the field on the season, and the Lakers almost threw it away, but Clarity saved it. She comes up along the right sideline, gives to Johnson for the shot. Offline, then tapped down low, and there was Clarity to put it back. So a nice bounce for the Lakers. Delania on the board with her first basket, and the Lakers trail at 23-16. And then the backdoor pass to Harris was too strong. Corner 3, though, from Victoria Baldwin is good. And just like that, it's a 10-point lead again for Lander, 26-16. 5.5 remaining in this first half.
Yeah, chipping away from that 7-point lead, and all of a sudden it's 10.
Oh, nice look down low to Valencia Johnson from Kieta Saunders. And
Palming.
Is that a turnover there on
Yes.
the other end? Okay. I wasn't sure if it was a foul, if she stepped on the sideline. But Bill's got it.
A little carry. I think, and the scoreboard hasn't reflected this totally yet, but the Lakers are playing a much better second quarter. They're looking good.
Get a bucket here at 6.
Yeah.
You know, that's right there. Almost knocked out of bounds. Saunders stops and pops and hits.
Oh.
Exactly what I was talking about.
Stone cold.
So Kieta with her first basket, and the Lakers pull within 6. So we hit the halfway point of this second quarter, 26-20. This is Baldwin who gets it down low, almost stolen by the Lakers, and then missing on the layup was Mitchell. Lakers with it. Here comes Rackley. Stops and shoots. Can't make it, though. Fought for on the rebound, and coming away with it's Harris for Lander. Gets it to Johnson, and then the foul on Valencia Johnson. So it was Johnson on Johnson there. And that was tough because, you know what? They were together. They were kind of bodied up. The pass is looped.
Yeah.
And she went up for it, and really there was nothing she could do there. They were already.
I know it's probably a foul, but
That's one you got to let go, I think.
I think it was. I don't have a problem with that foul. I mean, Valencia Johnson had a good position.
That's what I thought. Good position. Good.
Yeah.
You know, she wasn't fouling. She was defending.
She's denying an interior pass, and like I said in football, they always say, well, it's pass interference. That's the name of the penalty. Well, that's what you're supposed to do is interfere with the pass. I mean, come on. In that case,
legally.
Yeah, well, legally, you're right. But I think that was a good play. I think the Lakers have really stepped up their game here. They're down by 6. Like we said, it was about 7, and it just kind of seems to be hovering around that 6 or 7 point threshold. It might not reflect.
Well, 7 to 10, I would say.
It did go up to 10 at one point. You're right. But I think even though the scoreboard might not reflect it fully, the Lakers are playing a much better second half, and their defense has really stepped up. Look, they're shooting at 45%. Lander's only at 35% from the field. So the Lakers are having a very good shooting day. It's just the turnovers.
Well, and it's good that Lander isn't shooting it that well.
Yeah. Well, here's the difference. 5 points. It's a 6-point game. 5 points off of turnovers.
Yeah.
That's the difference. 15 to 10 points off of turnovers. It favors Lander.
Lakers with 18 turnovers. Tatiana Foster, who leads this team in turnovers with 49 coming in, now with another 6. So she's got 55. And 11 turnovers for Lander. So they're getting closer. Oh, here's another corner 3 from Baldwin. In and out on that one, and a nice box out to reel in the rebound by A.B. Rackley. Saunders spins and lost it, but Rackley was able to track it down. Now to Hardman, an offensive foul. I mean, doesn't take much to see these things.
No, but Brashae Johnson, again, that was just smart. She saw it coming, knew that she had position, set herself, waited for her to lower to the shoulder, and just that's an easy one for the vet.
Brittany Hardman's first personal. Harris, baseline, down low, missing on the shot was Johnson. And the Lakers, they got a 3-on-2 if they hurry. Grimsley spins and is fouled. That was a nice move by Asia on the spin, and Destiny Langford whistled for her first personal. 13 foul for Lander. Both teams saddled with 3 here in this second quarter. 3:50 left, Lakers down by 6, 26-20. And Asia Grimsley to the line, 70% on the season. She has hit and attempted the most free throws on the team. 42 made, 60 now 1 attempted as she missed on the first. Asia with 7 points here in this first half. Senior from Marietta. And you can make it 8, pulls the Lakers within 5. 26-21, closest they've been in a while. Going right to the basket, outside for the open 3. Again was Victoria Baldwin. She missed just a second ago, but she's hit 2 of 3 now, and it's back to 8, 29-21.
Good job by Lander, seeing that they had something outside, kicking it out from where everybody was stacked in the paint.
Lakers working around the perimeter. Saunders to Grimsley. 7 to shoot. Asia, let's go from 3, and hits it. Asia Grimsley, pair of triples on this afternoon. And now Asia with 11 points to lead the Lakers back within 5. We go under 3 minutes left in the first half. Pump fake, go to the basket and lay it up with the left hand and make it nicely was Jessica Harris. So Lakers down by 7. Saunders drives to the basket, stops and shoots, but offline. And the rebound by Mitchell. Gets it ahead to Harris. Now Mitchell from the elbow. Hit the back iron. Rackley the rebound. Leads Grimsley. It was a 2-on-1, but she can't get it in, and the rebound goes to Johnson. So the Lakers had an opportunity there. And this is Baldwin. Got to keep an eye on her. She throws over to Langford. And now Harris gets the screen from Mitchell. At the foul line, Langford. 8 to shoot. Down low, Johnson, and 1. That was a tough shot. The foul on Hardman.
They've really, had a fairly good defensive day against Brashae Johnson so far, but that's just that's talent. I mean, that's why she's the reigning conference player of the year. When you can draw a foul like that and go to the line, I mean, it's hard to shut that down.
Johnson's got 8, and from the line, only a 60%er, but she does make that one, so she completes the 3-point play. Brashae Johnson with 9 points, and that has put her team back up by 10, 34-24, minute 50 remaining in the second quarter. Here's Bland. Brings it out Looked like she had a step to the basket, but passed on that. And now here's Shakoria Miles in, and she gets her pocket picked in the lane. And coming away with it here for Lander is Harris, and that's going to be a travel.
I haven't seen Shaq as much out on the floor. I mean, Shakoria's, I think she's had some knee issues, and they've been just giving her some time. But if they can get her healthy again.
Oh, I don't even know what that was.
I think
A.B. Rackley threw it into the scorer's table on the inbounds pass.
That was the Mike Mead pass over there. Keeping the book.
Mike Mead wearing, an official's jersey, but again, not on the court. He is sitting here at the scorer's table along with you and I, and Josh Darling, Jen Darling, Fred Earl.
Not AB. She knows it too. That was not her best.
Oh,
effort.
did you see her face after she did that? She immediately looked over to where Kalina was.
Just a mistake.
And that's going to be a travel on the drive by Langford. So the Lakers get a break and that they get the basketball back. Minute 27 remaining. 34-24. Lander on top of Clayton State in the opener of this MLK Day matinee doubleheader. Rackley, nicely done there. Avoided the defender. Banker won't go. AB gets her own rebound and then fought for her, and she turned it over. On the run is Harris, but it's a 2-on-4, and she'll pull it back out. And then a whistle, and what was that, 5 seconds? I'm going to say that's what it was, a 5-second violation there on too much dribbling from Jessica Harris. So Foster gets it from Rackley. Lakers had the 2-on-1. Bland passed on a shot. And back to Foster. Screen from Miles. Bland outside the three-point circle. Up top. Drives to the basket. Was looking for a whistle. Didn't get it. And the ball goes out of bounds. So 47.5 seconds remaining. Grimsley back in for Bland. And the Lakers trail it 34-24. And the Lakers with full court pressure. Foster closely watching Harris here. Here's Baldwin. Tried to squeeze it down low into Johnson, and the ball was deflected out by the Lakers. And checking in, Ariana Sanders now for Victoria Baldwin. So that's good news. We don't have to worry about her shooting threes. Harris throwing in. And that's Mitchell with it. And they get it down on the block to Johnson, and the ball goes out of bounds off of Brashay Johnson. So the Lakers get it back. And 19.7 seconds left here in the quarter, so the shot clock turned off. Last shot for the Lakers, if they can keep the basketball. Foster. 10 seconds left. Tatiana drives, puts it up, and it won't go. Mitchell with the rebound. Nice move by Foster. Ahead of the field for the layup was Destiny Langford at the buzzer. Oh, that was a crusher. As the Lakers missed on an attempt to trim it to 8, and instead you go the other way, and right at the buzzer, the made basket by Langford to make it 36-24 in favor of Lander. So that's your halftime score. Clayton State trailing Lander 36-24. Bill and I back with the Ortho Atlanta halftime report after we take this break. All right, Mitch Evans, Bill Schindler back with you. A lot of excitement here at halftime as we had two high schools competing in a round robin of events here. And the last one was a half-court shot. First team to hit a half-court shot, and lo and behold, one of them hit it, and everybody was going crazy here. But we thank you for watching Lakers basketball. Time for the Ortho Atlanta halftime report. We'll do it quickly. Lander leading Clayton State by the score of 36-24, and the turnover story is really the one, Bill. 23 turnovers for the Lakers again. They commit 18 a game, so they're way over that already, and 15 for Lander. But Lander and Clayton State both shooting it at a 40% clip. I guess you can look at the difference being right now that they've got 14 field goals made, and the Lakers have 10.
Yeah, and those would be some of the turnover story there, just some more shots. And, maybe a few more free throws, 5 of 7 compared to 2 of 4. But you're right, is the numbers. I mean, for Clayton State, this is a good shooting percentage. At 40%, they've done that well. They are being outscored, though, in the paint, 20-12 and 15-10 for Lander, again, with the advantage in turnovers and points. The turnover number, though, is the big one. That has been the difference. And you kind of get the feeling in this game because I think, look, it was a 17-13 advantage scoring-wise for Lander in the second quarter. I thought Clayton State played a good second quarter. It's just a good Lander team, and it's almost like when you get in that situation where you're swimming against a current sometimes, and you just keep expending this energy, and all of a sudden you're just not getting anywhere. And that's kind of what the second quarter felt like. I think Lander is they're playing a very good game, and when you make a few unforced errors, this is a team that can take advantage of that.
Well, yeah, and that's both teams. You can say the same thing for Clayton State as well because that's their usual MO. I'll give you another one that sticks out for me like a sore thumb is that Breland Rackley and Alicia Merriweather are combined for 2 points.
Yes.
Okay, they are two of your leading scorers. The two leading scorers along with Asia Grimsley, who averages 9.5. Asia's got 11. She has contributed for A.B. Rackley with just 2 and Merriweather with none. So that's going to have to change. Let's consider also that in the loss to Lander last month, Rackley had 8 points and 7 rebounds, and Merriweather scored 10 points in that one. So if the Lakers have any chance in this second half, obviously, you got to cut out on the turnovers. You cannot commit them at the rate that you did in that first half because you're lucky to still be down by just 12. And you got to get Alicia Merriweather and A.B. Rackley going.
No, that's that point in the paint number where they only have 12 points in the paint compared to 20 for the Bearcats.
That's it right there.
Yep.
So the Lakers are going to have to, again, take better care of the basketball, but then also get a couple of their big players involved, meaning, again, Breland Rackley and also Alicia Merriweather, because a combined 2 points between the two of them is not going to cut it. And Asia Grimsley, again, with 11 to lead the way for the Lakers, who trail it by 12 as we get ready to start the second half. It's 36-24. Lander on top as the Bearcats, again, I said at the top, they weren't going to be happy about losing to Georgia College. You knew they were going to come in and be ready to go, and they have been. Now can the Lakers respond here in this second half? As the Bearcats will have the basketball first to start this third quarter. Lakers with Tatiana Foster, Kieta Saunders, Alicia Merriweather, A.B. Rackley, and Asia Grimsley on the floor to start this second half. Lakers almost poked it away there. Rackley guarding Mitchell. Johnson down low on the block, defended by Merriweather. Johnson puts it up and won't roll. And the Lakers come away with it. Merriweather on the rebound and almost stolen there on a lazy pass from Foster. Grimsley for 3, hit the front rim and bounced out. And here on the fast break, it's Langford. Goes up and under and can't hit it, but actually I take that back. That was Johnson.
And Asia Grimsley.
Off the pass from Langford.
Asia Grimsley on that foul. She's unleashing her inner forward. Pretty hard foul from a guard to a center.
That's good, trying to send a message.
Yep.
Asia with her second foul. Meanwhile, Brashay Johnson gets into double figures, now with 10. Fourth in scoring this season, as I said, 16 and a half. If she misses the second, she's ninth in rebounding, 7.6.
Well,
and third in field goal percentage, 60%.
Yeah. And now, again, in double figures every game except that loss the last time out.
Merriweather for three. Banks it home. So Alicia Merriweather gets off the schneid with her first points here in the third quarter. And the Lakers down by 10, 37-27. And for Alicia, just that's her first three-pointer of the season. She was 0-1. Johnson at the foul line. Merriweather on her. Right sideline, it's Williams. 5 to shoot. Johnson with it, puts it on the floor, goes to the basket, won't fall. Rebound to Rackley. She'll bring it up. AB on the right wing. Now to Foster, and it gets stolen away. You got to wonder what she's thinking about there. A no-look pass in the center of the court. The Lakers get lucky, Bill, as the ball goes out of bounds off Lander.
Now the officials coming over. Maybe a shot clock reset, I think is what they're talking about.
Tony Paris right now going to get together with Steve Edwards. They'll sort this out, and they're going to say 17 seconds on the shot clock because Lander never had possession of the basketball.
Now we know the truth at 17.
Here's Rackley, who floats to the basket, and they call an offensive foul there. I don't know about that. The defender was moving with Rackley. So AB are first. And the ball back to Lander. Mitchell with it. Now it's Crystal Williams. Flash it into the lane and able to float it in is Destiny Langford. She now has 10 after 8 in the first half. Here's Grimsley, baseline, and then she tried to force it into Rackley, and that got stolen. Oh, and finding the space, slivering through, but missing on the layup attempt was Harris. So Foster the other way, goes to the basket and is fouled. 39-27, Lander leading the Lakers. The foul will go to Harris, her second. Grimsley looking for someone to fire into and has to go up top to Tatiana. Merriweather the screen, and then Foster stops and pops and makes. So Foster with her first basket here in the third quarter. Back down to 10, 39-29. Almost stolen by Grimsley. Wide open here on the left wing was Langford, who puts it on the floor at the elbow. Kietacek and her. 10 to shoot for the Bearcats. And now going to the basket is Langford. Cross court three, Williams. No. The rebound by Mitchell, though. So a fresh 30 for Lander. We're 3 minutes into this third quarter, and the Bearcats have basically led all the way. The Lakers led. They scored the first basket of the game, and that's been it. Williams steps back outside the three-point circle. Harris directing traffic. Gives to Langford in the paint. Throws up an air ball, and there's Johnson who misses. And then the putback from Johnson again. Can't get it to fall. And the Lakers come away with it. Here's Grimsley. Had a three if she wanted it, but said no. Foster, the screen from Rackley. Now to Grimsley. Asia on the dribble. Here's Merriweather at the foul line. Puts it on the floor. Her bank attempt no good. Grimsley fights for it, and then Lander comes away with it. They've got a, well, it's a 3-on-3. Oh, the nice crossover. And then the spin there. And that was Jessica Harris with the nice bucket for Lander. And it's 41-29, Bearcats. Foster down low to Merriweather, the whistle, and they call the offensive foul. So that'll go on Alicia Merriweather. That will be 3 on her.
Yeah, that's a tough foul for
tough.
her to draw. Yeah, especially being her third now. Well, it's going to put her on the bench, and we were talking about they need her to start playing well because we saw the numbers pretty low with her and Rackley and points in the paint.
Valencia Johnson checks in for Merriweather. Also Clarity in for the Lakers. They trail by 12. And then a whistle. And turnover by Lander. As it was Langford who stepped on the sideline.
There's another one of those turnovers that we're talking about that Clayton State now needs to take advantage of.
And they turn it over again. Rackley couldn't control the basketball, and then a foul on the interior. Looks like it'll be on Clarity. And that's who it's on. So Delania draws her first, freshman from North Clayton High School. And we've got our first whistle of this second half. 5:20 left in the third quarter. Clayton State continuing to trail Lander 41-29. Today's broadcast wouldn't be possible without the generous support of Laker basketball broadcast partners, Bojangles, Clayton County Television, Georgia's own credit union, the Development Authority of Clayton County, and Ortho Atlanta. Right now, Kalina Coleman having a chat, if you will, with Chad Tucker about some of these offensive fouls, I think, that the Lakers have been whistled for, because I think some of them are close. And I think, at least at this point, Kalina's working him a little bit.
Yeah, look, I mean, we talked in the open. Remember, I said, hey, it depends on how this is officiated. And we see now Merriweather on the bench with 3 personal fouls. Probably, if you want to go very close, they are fouls. But both of these teams, we talked about the 2 top defenses in the Peach Belt Conference. Steals, turnovers. Clayton State leads in those categories. Lander's a close second. These are going to be physical teams. They're going to be reaching. They're going to be pushing. So it depends on how close you call it. And we see a little bit closer maybe than Kalina Coleman likes it. And so she's working it a little bit. The concern I have for Clayton State right now is, again, they're playing, in a lot of ways, a good game, shooting percentage-wise. The turnovers, we have talked about that ad nauseum as they need to clean that up, and they do. Problem is Lander, what makes them such a good team, Mitch, is they have not allowed Clayton State to go on a run.
That's correct.
You know, they have been, when they've made their mistakes.
And the basket there by Crystal Williams off the inbounds.
But when
Williams now with 4. Go ahead, Bill.
But when they've made their mistakes, they haven't made mistakes consistently.
14-point lead now for Lander, 43-29. Halfway through this third quarter. Rackley in and out on the 3 attempt from the right wing. And it's Williams again. Cross court, Langford. On the floor. Coming around a screen is Harris. Gives it back to Langford. Now it's Mitchell, who monies it from just inside the 3-point circle. Mitchell with 7. And then the ball poked out of bounds in the Lakers' front court by Harris. And it will stay with Clayton State. Another timeout on the floor, this one of immediate variety. 4:30 remaining in the third quarter. The Lakers down by this biggest margin of this contest as they trail Lander 45-29. Bill and Bryant back in just a minute. Both teams back out on the floor to resume third quarter action here at the Lock. Mitch Evans, Bill Schindler with you. It's not been a good one for Clayton State. Down by 16 now, 45-29, but the Lakers with the basketball.
Ironically, though, Clayton State actually out shooting Lander 40% to 39.1.
And then there's a foul on the interior, and that will go on Lander. So who knows? Maybe Kalina Coleman's discussion with Steve Edwards could pay dividends. And a big third foul now on Jessica Harris. So the sophomore from Sumter, South Carolina, will have to go to the bench, but that means that Victoria Baldwin, the junior from Hoover, Alabama, reports in. Of course, she nailed 2 3-pointers in that second quarter. Clarity wide open from downtown and shoots the air ball, and then the nice save there by Langford gets it to Mitchell. And here's the drive and the foul. And it'll be on Johnson, and that will send Crystal Williams to the line.
And now personal fouls 14-9. Lakers with those 14.
And Johnson now with her third.
And you were talking about working the officials a little bit. Now that was a foul.
Yeah,
obviously.
sure, right.
But you know, you kind of say if you're a coach, hey, look, there's that foul disparity. What's going on? You're calling it tight on us. They're playing tight defense too. So you know, it's not that unwise to just come out and there and put that in the official's head. Gets in there a little bit. Get a call or two.
Williams missed on the first. She's an 86% foul shooter. Makes the second. Williams with 5. She had 17 in the previous meeting between these two teams. Lakers break the pressure. Grimsley from 3. Won't go. Mitchell comes down with the board. 4 on 2, and easy pickings there for Williams, who's got 5 here in the third and 7 overall, and the Lakers now find themselves down by 19. Saunders to Grimsley. Miles wants it on the block, and she gets it and puts it home as she beats Baldwin to the spot. So Shaq Miles, the redshirt junior from Garysburg, North Carolina, on the board. But the Lakers have a long way to go, down 17. And here's another 3, but this time off the mark from Baldwin, but then the follow down low was Mitchell. Now with 9, and the Lakers back down by 19, 50-31. Saunders to Miles at the foul line. She drives, can't get it to drop, and no whistle there. Looked like she might have gotten hacked, Bill.
Yeah, they need someone in the middle to start stepping up, and with Shaq Miles now, of course, who has seen limited playing time lately with a little nursing of an injury. See if she can get going. That would be huge.
Oh, and a nice setup down low, and the up and under reverse layup for Brashae Johnson, who has 12. Lakers down 21 now. 2.5 left. Grimsley floats to the basket and can't go. Another rebound for Lander, as this one's starting to slowly get away from the Lakers. They hung around despite all those turnovers. At last count, by the way, 27. And the shot no good by Lander, but another offensive rebound for Chelsea Mitchell. Works the baseline with 3, and she hits it, and the foul. And will it go?
No, offensive foul.
Oh, they called an offensive foul. Yeah. Okay. So it's going to go the other way. So that's a break for the Lakers, and the foul on Mitchell is her second. So the Lakers with Rackley, Saunders, Clarity, Grimsley, and Merriweather. Down by 21, under 2 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Rackley breaks the pressure. Into the paint, puts it up, and is fouled. So AB goes to the line. And again, Rackley with just 2 points. She has not scored since the first quarter. AB on the season, a team leading 92%. She's only missed twice, now 24 of 26 on the season. And now substitution for Lander as Brashay Johnson will go out. Jessica Harris with the 3 fouls back in. And Brashay Johnson was whistled for that foul, her first, but nonetheless will come out. And Rackley misses on the second, so a rare free throw miss for her. Mitchell, coast to coast, and good defense by Rackley to deflect the ball out of bounds. It'll stay with Lander. So the Bearcats just taking it right to the Lakers, even off of a made free throw. And another 3 there is good from Victoria Baldwin. On the season for Baldwin, not something that was unexpected. A nice float and a swoop to the hoop there by Clarity with 4. And then back on the other end, the miss on the layup attempt by Langford. But she was fouled, and checked that was Williams. And there was no foul. The ball out of bounds. It'll go back to the Lakers.
Now Lander has put up now with still a minute 08 left in this third quarter. So you got, 68 seconds? And then 10 more minutes left to play after that. They equaled their last offensive output at that loss at Georgia College. They had 55.
Baldwin had 8 3-pointers coming into the game. She's got 3 more here. So she's feeling good. Lakers, not so much, down 21, under a minute remaining in the third here to Lander. Grimsley, and a lazy pass intended from Merriweather, picked off by Lander. Another 3, in and out there for Baldwin. Lakers got to do a better job of guarding her on the 3, and a nice float to the basket by Merriweather off the glass. So Alicia with 5 points, all here in the third quarter. Half minute left, Lakers trail by 19. Going to the basket and banking it home was Langford. Now with 12. Lakers throw it away there, Rackley. Going to the basket, missing was Langford. Lakers come away with it with Clarity. Gets across half court. The pressure meets her. Rackley to shoot with 3 seconds left and makes it. And that will do it. So we asked for some more offense from A.B. Rackley and Alicia Merriweather. They combined for 9 points in the third quarter after they had 2 combined in the first half, but not nearly enough for the Lakers, Bill, as they trail at 57-38 heading to the fourth and final quarter.
Well, there's going to have to be a pretty good run here, and Lander is going to have a bit of an offensive collapse. I mean, the one thing Lander has done well, to their credit, they don't let the Lakers get on a continuous, sustained run. I mean, it's not happening. And that's something a good team does. Is in basketball, it's a game of flows, a game of runs. You get some people on the bench, get some people in foul trouble, and maybe you make a 10-point run one way or the other. And we've not seen that so far in this game. It has been Lander who maybe will give up, 4 points at most before they make another basket. They have not allowed Clayton State to try to get out to one of those 7 to 10-point runs.
Well, I think also Lander, until just the very end there where they started to push it, they're a very controlled team. You know, they play well out of sets. And, that's something that for Clayton State, they love to be able to get teams in a frenetic pace, forcing turnovers. And unfortunately, as has been the case against Lander, Bill, I mean, look, this is no secret, but that's been the case. Lander has been able to turn the tables on Clayton State as far as the way they like to play. And the Lakers with 29 turnovers through 3 quarters, so right now on average, 10 per quarter. And that could end up being a rather ugly number of 40 And almost happened right there as Valencia Johnson almost lost it but was able to reel it in. Grimsley drives, puts it up, can't finish, and fought for, and Lakers are able to come back away with it, and it's Clarity. Almost an over and back, came close to that, but thankfully they didn't whistle him for that. The Clarity in the corner, drives to the basket, and the spinner off the left hand. Nicely done by Delania Clarity, now with 6.
And now 20 points in the paint for the Lakers.
They're down 17, though, 57-40. Just 45 seconds into this fourth quarter. We'll see if the Lakers can get some pressure, get some stops. Three-pointer in and out, but there's Mitchell for the offensive rebound. She misses, but the foul, and I believe that'll be on Merriweather. And if so, that would be her 4th.
Yeah, that's a bad foul for Merriweather because that'll probably put her on the bench most likely until, well, maybe what, about 4 or 3 minutes left?
Yeah. Well, Chelsea Mitchell has had herself a game on the glass. 9 points, 13 rebounds, 5 offensive rebounds, and Brashay Johnson already with a double-double, 12 points and 10 rebounds as Mitchell hits the first free throw. And now she's in double figures and with a double-double as well with 10 points and the 13 boards.
Yeah, we said that earlier. Remember in the first quarter that she was having a nice game for herself, and now it's starting to bear out statistically too. But she just seems like she's everywhere.
Yeah, good point. So the Lakers back down by 19, 59-40. Rackley, corner 3. Air ball brought down by Clarity, and her follow won't fall. And here's Mitchell again, pushing it on the dribble. Squeezes it in to Johnson, who lays it in. Nice basketball there by the two teammates, Johnson and Mitchell. And then at the other end, turnover by the Lakers. Check that foul.
Kieta Saunders.
So Saunders with the foul turns it over. That does count as a turnover on an offensive foul. So the junior from Chicago now with her first. Harris to throw in. Looking. And it gets it to Ariana Sanders. And this is Harris. Sanders down low to Johnson, and the Lakers steal it. Taquana Bland with it. She tried to give it to Foster, and it was good defense again by Harris. And then on the shot attempt, there's a foul. That will go on Langford, her second.
Lander, it's a good team. You give me Johnson and
Mitchell
and going to win some games.
And also Langford and Harris.
Yeah, I mean, not to shortchange anybody else.
Bland from downtown, no. Grimsley on the follow, won't go. And then the rebound, who? Mitchell. Got it stolen by Grimsley. She lays it in. So Asia playing pickpocket there.
Asia's had a great game. She played very well.
And driving to the basket and flipping it up with the left hand and getting fouled was Mitchell. Very active player. Chelsea Mitchell, the junior guard from Laurel, Maryland. Second team foul on the Lakers is A.B. Rackley. By the way, they're also playing without Mylea McKenneth, senior guard from Durham, North Carolina. And McKenneth is averaging 14 points per game. So they're not missing her one iota.
It's a dangerous team. I mean, really, this is, you can tell this is one of the best teams in the Peach Belt. And they're bearing it out today. I wonder what happened to Georgia College when they only scored 55.
And then the Lakers have the inbounds pass almost stolen. It was knocked out of bounds by Harris. So up 21, 63-42 the score in favor of Lander. Just 2 minutes in to this fourth quarter, and then I don't even know what that was on the inbound. Stolen again by Lander. And then the Lakers steal it. Nice deflection by Foster as she'll go to the basket and get tripped up there by Sanders.
I hope she's
and
okay.
Tatiana went down hard.
Yeah, I don't know what that inbound pass was. That was the Case Keenum pass, although that one didn't work out as well.
Yeah, no. The Case Keenum pass for the touchdown to win the game for the Vikings was a nice pass. It was a bad play by the defensive back.
Just throw it up. Just throw it up there.
Yeah, well, you know what? I don't know if he was just throwing it up. He was, throwing it to him to go get it, as opposed to let's say a Hail Mary in the end zone.
True.
That wasn't that play.
True.
Of course, we're talking about the Vikings' miracle win on the final play of the game. That was a walk-off, like baseball variety, as Foster misses the first.
A walk-off with a kneel down extra point 15 minutes later.
I don't know why they even bother. Now, I tweeted something out about that. You can follow me on Twitter, by the way, at the Mitch Sports. I was tweeting during that game, and I tweeted about that, and someone said, oh, well, there's something called a point spread, as Foster makes the second. Well, in overtime, they don't kick extra points. Nice steal there by Rackley. So the point spread doesn't matter there. Bland drives to the hoop and gets blocked by Mitchell. Lakers get it back, and it's Grimsley. Bland on the baseline. Will step it back out. Tries to look down low to Johnson, but she was double teamed. 10 to shoot for Clayton State. Foster stopped her dribble. Rackley from downtown. And the rebound goes to Harris. She's dribbling and driving and now stepping back out. And then sets it up Mitchell. She had a shot at the basket, but she passed on it. And why not take time? You're winning by 20. Milk the clock. Three-pointer from Williams. Long rebound goes to who else? Mitchell. I'm going to tell you, she could have a 20-rebound game here, Bill.
She could. I mean, she has had an impressive just energy level-wise. She is everywhere.
And the ball goes there to Langford. Now it's Johnson. Face up on Rackley. Corner three from Harris is good. I mean, she caught that and threw that up all in the same motion.
That was impressive. That was like a passing clinic and another turnover for the Lakers, but that was like a passing clinic from Lander, and then the catch and release all in that same motion.
Yeah, that was some sequence there, and it wasn't good if you're a Clayton State fan, as Rackley and Foster come out, and it's Johnson and Merriweather back in as they join Bland, Grimsley, and Saunders out on the floor. 66-43, Clayton State, biggest deficit, and it could get larger here. Crystal Williams with it with a screen from Mitchell. And then the cross-court pass almost deflected out of bounds by Johnson for the Lakers. Three for Williams. Bang again! Crystal Williams following the three from Jessica Harris. And all of a sudden, the Lander lead is ballooned to 26. It's 69-43. That deserves a timeout. We've got a stoppage of play on the court. 5:35 remaining in this one. And Lander running away now from Clayton State, 69-43. Mitch Evans, Bill Schindler back with you from the lock. It hasn't been pretty for Clayton State in this one. Down by 26 to Lander, 69-43, and really just the same old story as we've seen these last 4 games against the Bearcats. The Lakers, they just can't stick with them, Bill.
And the defense has caused a lot of turnovers, too.
Bland shot off the mark. Mitchell another rebound. At last count, she had 17 boards. That's 18. And here's Mitchell, elbow jumper, short. Rebound by Johnson, and the putback is good. So Brashay Johnson now with 16, just about at her scoring average on the season. And the Lakers down 28 now. Valencia from the corner. And fought for. And Alicia Merriweather brought it in, went up with the shot, and it was Brashay Johnson on the foul. So that's 2 on the senior center from Hopkins, South Carolina. And has done it all in her 4 years at Lander. And she does it in a really quiet, understated way. You just turn around, oh, there she is at her 16-point average. Alicia Merriweather makes the first. So Alicia with 6, 63% from the line this season. And Alicia's able to bury both. And that cuts it to 26. Lander breaks the pressure from the Lakers. Valencia Johnson goes down but gets back up. Baseline pass almost thrown away, but was reeled in by Langford. Harris now to Langford. Here's Mitchell at the foul line, the whistle, and they're going to say offensive 3 seconds.
Wow.
I think that's what it was.
I didn't see, were they going to, did they call that on Mitchell?
That's a good point. They might have.
I mean, if she did, maybe she just had a foot. I think her pivot foot was out of the paint, though.
And the Lakers break the pressure. Saunders in the paint, and they're going to call a travel on her. So another turnover for the Lakers. And really the numbers that we're going to look at here are the turnover number. Now wholesale changes here for Lander as they will go to their bench up by 26 with just over 4 minutes left. So hitting the floor, 24 Tabitha Daly. Number 10 is Destiny Webster. 21 Ariana Sanders. 34 Leah Pettit. And 32 is Victoria Baldwin. But the 2 numbers I'm looking at are going to be Lakers turnovers and whether or not we hit that 40 number and whether or not Mitchell gets 20 rebounds. Yeah. Well, she won't. She's out. So that's it for her. She'll finish, I guess, with 18. Merriweather's banker off the mark. Lander another rebound, even though it's the second crew that's in.
I think right now, if you're the Lakers, look, Final Four, you just reset it. Not going to win this game. And you just say, all right, look, let's play the Final Four like it's the start of the game, and let's see how we finish. I think you got to just do that mentally.
And another 3 there from Victoria Baldwin. You can't leave her open in the corner. She's now hit 4 from there. 74-45. Biggest lead, 29 for Lander. Grimsley fires from downtown, offline. And the rebound to Daly, the sophomore forward from Augusta. Lakers defense, they steal it. Get it down low to Merriweather, who banks it in. So Alicia's got 9. And the Lakers trying to work over this second unit here. But stopping and popping and hitting at the free throw line was Ariana Sanders. Her second bucket. 76-47, the Lander lead. Grimsley with the dribble. Puts it up, won't drop, but she's hacked. That'll be a foul on Leah Pettit, will be her second. The junior center from Duluth High School. Timeout on the floor. Even 3 minutes remaining in this one. And the Lakers trail Lander 76-47. Back with you for the final 3 minutes here at the lock. Asia Grimsley will go to the line. She's got 13 on the afternoon. So Asia over her average on the season, which is 9.6. And Asia on the line 70% this season. And she continues her excellent work there. Makes both. 15 points for Grimsley. Lakers down by 27. 76-49. Oh, the floater almost went by Destiny Webster. Here's Grimsley going right to the basket on the baseline, and the up and under. Nice left-handed hoop there by Asia Grimsley.
She really has had the best game of any Laker today.
Yeah, I mean, no one else really joined her. Lakers deficit down to 25 with 2:20 left. And the Lakers steal it there. Kieta Saunders leading who? Grimsley. Goes to the basket, won't fall, and the rebound, Lander. Webster across center court, now at the top of the three-point circle. We go on to 2 minutes left in this one, mercifully.
Dos minutos.
Merriweather up top on Sanders. Now Saunders on Sanders. And the wild shot attempt draws a foul.
You've been waiting all day to say Saunders on Sanders, haven't you? That, I think, the Saunders on Sanders and the Johnson & Johnson.
Yeah, I had that too, right.
I know. I'm telling you. Announcer's dream right there.
So Sanders will go to the line. She's got 2 points. And you can make it 3. Sanders on the season averages just under 6 points per game and a 62% foul shooter. So Sanders 2 for 2 there. Lakers back down by 27. Here's Saunders. Gives it to Merriweather. In and out on the baseline jumper. Ball goes out of bounds. Stay with the Lakers. It went off the leg of Tabitha Daly. So Kieta to throw in. First, Tony Paris wants the basketball. And now Tony Paris wants Kieta Saunders to come closer to where she is. Now she takes the ball back. Finally ready. Saunders. Oh, nice bucket there by Valencia Johnson off the inbound as she banked it home. That was all in one motion. As soon as she was catching the basketball, she was putting it up.
And nice move by Valencia.
5 for Valencia. Averages 6. And she can't get it there. The foul, by the way, was on Leah Pettit if you're keeping score at home. And then the pass down low from Pettit meant for Daly. And, gosh, man, she almost knocked her over with it. Meantime, we have a substitution, and now we'll try my best to do that as it's Zuzana Talakova, a senior forward from the Czech Republic, who checks in.
Oh. Nail it on the name and the pun. Mitch Evans.
Down low, turning in the paint and then throwing it back outside for a 3 from who? Yes, Victoria Baldwin again. Now with 12, all on 3-pointers. Oh, excuse me, with 15, all on 3-pointers. Clarity drives, lets off for Johnson, stops in the paint and shoots. Nope, but the whistle and a foul on Lander. So Victoria Baldwin, as I said, came into this game having hit 8 3-pointers on 36 attempts. And in this game, Victoria Baldwin is, I believe, 5 for 7.
It's a heck of a shooting day from 3.
And VJ's first foul shot attempt there was way off the mark.
Man, everything has gone well for Lander. And Clayton State, at least, we'll get the final numbers here. Good news is the shooting percentage has been up.
Valencia hits the second.
But they ran into a very good defensive team. They made some mistakes of their own, but the turnovers, it started to cost them and wear away. It's a different story, I think, of this game than the first matchup. The first matchup, they put themselves in a hole.
Yeah, an early hole, right.
Yeah, and then they played pretty well after that. And, they stuck with Lander for a while, but that third quarter just kind of
the deal is that the Lakers have not even been able to get to 20 points. Actually, they haven't gotten over 14 in a quarter. Scored 11 in the first, 13 in the second, 14 in the third. And here they've got 16. Now, what happened there?
That was the old, I'll just use the football term, she didn't snap the ball.
Well, Webster hit the 2 free throws.
She faked everybody out.
Bland for 3. Hit the iron and bounced away. And the rebound to Talakova. Webster, 25 seconds left, poked out of her hands by Clarity, stays with the Bearcats. And the shot clock now off. So 22.9. And Lander, actually now they put the shot clock back on. 21 seconds to shoot, about 2-second differential. Going right to the bucket and shooting is Sanders, and she misses. Merriweather the board, out front to Saunders, who stops and pops, but was way off, and then the save attempt there by Sanders could not keep it in bounds. So there was another Sanders-Saunders moment. Now it's Bland to throw in with 9.5 seconds left. And Johnson nails the jumper from the right elbow. Valencia will finish with 8 points, and that will do it. The final score is Lander 83 and Clayton State 56. Time for the Development Authority of Clayton County post-game report. The Development Authority of Clayton County serves as staff for the Board of Commissioners, the Development Authority, the Redevelopment Authority, and the Urban Redevelopment Agency. They're charged with attracting and maintaining jobs and interest in the community by collaborating with organizations and municipalities to leverage assets and resources. So we wait for Kalina Coleman to stop by, and it will be, I can promise you, a short visit after this loss. So Not much good out of this one for the Lakers. Another one-sided loss to Lander. And Kalina Coleman stepping in now to talk with us for just a quick minute here. We won't keep Kalina long after this one. Look, I could sit here and talk to you about the turnovers, and I don't know. I don't know what the final number was. I don't even want to know what the final number. Don't tell me.
31. We had 31. They had 20.
Nah, that was at 5:32 remaining. Yeah, you don't want to. You don't want to know. Let's now look at the stats now. What is it? What is it about Lander that they've been able to really have their way with you
I wish
the last 5
I
games?
could figure it out myself. You know, even after halftime, you know, it's a little different this game than it was, you know, at Lander. And I was hoping that the turnout probably would be better, but.
Well, look, I'll admit to you, I was talking at one point and saying there's a possibility that the Lakers could get to 40 turnovers in this game.
Jesus.
And thankfully in the fourth quarter it wasn't as bad as it was, but nonetheless, it contributed to this loss. But you didn't get much from A.B. Rackley in the first half. Merriweather, I mean, I think they had a combined 2 points. I mean, really, it was Asia Grimsley against the world in this one.
It just came down to executing the game plan, and we did not stick to the game plan this game at all. And I mean, in playing a team like Lander, you must, because great teams come up and they show up to play.
Right.
So we got to make sure we do everything. So back to the drawing boards we go, and just trying to get ready for
North Georgia, which is
Monday.
not easy on Wednesday.
On Wednesday. You are right. It's not. So I warned them, and I know it's three games in 5 days.
Right.
And this is a tough stretch with Lander and North Georgia and then Southwestern. But everyone else is doing it, so we got to do it. We got to push through it. We got to fight through it. But sorry we didn't put up a better fight today for Laker Nation, but hopefully on Wednesday it'll be better. All
right, Kalina. Appreciate you stopping by. We'll see you on Wednesday,
you.
hopefully for a better result.
Thank you.
All right, Kalina Coleman there with us following this 83-56 Clayton State Lakers loss to Lander. And we'll continue now with the Development Authority of Clayton County post-game report as we go through some of the stats. And actually, Kalina walked off with the stats, so we'll see. We got another stat sheet here. But look, the Lakers, that's just from the second quarter. I gotta get another one. We'll wait. We'll see if Jen Darling can print us up a stat sheet. And really, what's to talk about, Bill?
It just wasn't.
What's to talk about?
Wasn't great.
Your leading scorer for the Lakers was Asia Grimsley, and she had 17 points. The Lakers had 32 turnovers, I believe it was, 31 or 32.
Yeah.
So they didn't get to the 40. I mean, we covered it pretty much. As Kalina said to me, bless you, Bill. As Kalina said to me,
I was on camera too.
I know. We gotta get ready for North Georgia because it's not going to get any easier on Wednesday.
No, I think you just chalk it up. It was a good team, and they ran into a Lander team that they haven't been able to solve lately. I think, Asia Grimsley had a great game, and the rest of the team struggled. There were too many turnovers. Lander's a really good team. They played well. Chelsea Mitchell had almost a 20-rebound game. Would have if they wouldn't have put her on the bench for the final 4 minutes. You just put it in the rearview mirror and just say, well, if we get in the postseason, going to see Lander again, we'll figure it out from there. But now, okay, move on. Faced them twice, lost twice. Check it off the list.
Yep.
And the rest of the season's now going to be what they need to focus on.
All right. Well, when we were last together on Saturday, the Clayton State women were winners and the Clayton State men were losers. Maybe we can flip it the other way in this one, and hopefully the men can be victorious against Lander in the nightcap. That'll happen in about a half hour from now. So we thank you for watching the Development Authority of Clayton County postgame report. Stay right where you are. Bill and I will be back in just a few minutes, and we'll preview the men when they come up next. Thanks a lot, everybody.